Mishi, come here. Uma, look at these clothes this Mishi starter has worn. The button doesn't even have a woman. Look how many wrinkles there are. I angrily called out to my younger sister and immediately complained about her to my mother. She came into the kitchen within a few moments. Yes, brother. How did you iron these clothes? At least remove the creases properly. I pointed out to him the crease in my shirt, brother. No human being is so intelligent that he can use a microscope to examine this tiny crease on your shirt. You don't worry. She said this sarcastically and it looked at her with surprise. First of all, she just knows how to use her tongue like a scissor. You can do as much as you want. Mom, please teach him some manners. Otherwise she will go to the next house and get beaten with shoes. Mishri was left with open mouth after hearing my words while mother also stared at me. It is bad that Mir backed does not say such things about the sisters. When mother scolded me, I felt embarrassed and quietly picked up my clothes and went out. Mom, it seems the time has come to get me brother married. Now I can't tolerate my brother's further tantrums. I heard Mish's voice and I stopped in shock. Yes, I am thinking the same thing. My heart was filled with joy after hearing Umar's thoughts. This is what I also wanted. I am looking for some well-mannered, intelligent girl for him who can come and take care of him. When I sighed this in a thoughtful and concerned manner, my heart felt Oma had forgotten to look beautiful along with being well-mannered and intelligent. Come on, I will explain it to Mom. I moved towards my room humming. My name is Mia Bakht. We were only 2 siblings. I was the eldest in the family, and I had younger sister Mavesh. Right from the beginning, there was great refinement and elegance in my nature. I hated mess and disorder. I liked everything to be neat and tidy. Because of this habit of mine, my family members, especially my sister, were ever upset with me, because I used to bother him all the time and find faults in everything he did. Tired and exhausted, she would fold her hands in front of me and say, "Brother, you should do your work yourself." But I was not in the habit of working. Mom and Dad brought me up with a lot of love and care. I was 6 years older than Mishi, hence I was pampered a lot by Mom and Dad for 6 years before he was born. However, even after his arrival, there was no significant decrease in my importance. In fact, my respect for him had increased because I was the only light of this family. From the very beginning, Father used to say that after getting married, Mishi would go to another house and would bring joy to that house. But my son will always remain with me as the bright lamp of my house. Abu had 3 brothers. My eldest brother, my uncle's family, did not have any children, whereas Father's younger brother had 3 daughters. Hence, I was the only son of my father's family. I was well aware of this, and I used to take full advantage of it to receive everyone's love and affection. I had a brother elder than my mother, and his son walkers by was 3 years elder to me. Therefore, though not at my maternal grandparents' house, but at Dajul, I always had the upper hand. He always remained ahead in the field of education and never took unfair advantage of my father's love and affection. Every year my father's chest would swell with pride after seeing my IMSH's marks. Along with studies, I always remained ahead of other boys in other activities and brought great glory to my family and my father. In the last year of my training, I got a job offer from a very good company. So, I asked them for some time till I gave my exams, and after giving the exams, I had started working even before the results came out. I completed 1 full year of working, but I was surprised that Uma did not mention anything about my marriage till now, nor did Shishk for my opinion regarding this. Whereas in our family, not only the girls, but even the boys were married at very young ages. And anyway, I had become an authoritarian year old. Therefore, now Oma should have thought seriously about this. But I don't know, Oma was sitting with her hands folded, carefree. Maybe he intended to get Mishti married by me, although she was 6 years younger than me. Since I was elder, my turn should have come first. So I adopted the same method which Mamu Sunwakas Bai had taught me. This method wasn't too difficult for me, because I used to point out the faults earlier itself, but nowadays I have started finding too many faults in everything and every work, and finally the method suggested by Walker's Bay proved to be true, and mother was forced to think about my marriage. The search for a relationship has begun. Ama knew that I would not easily accept any girl as my wife, so his real trouble had begun. The search for a relationship started from the family. First of all, Amma placed the names of Chachu's 3 daughters in front of me. Booty immediately refused outright, because she had grown up in front of me and I knew her qualities very well. Uncle's elder daughter was a little overweight. Standing next to me, she looked older than me, whereas the second daughter was useless in studies. After knowing the reason for refusal, even mother sat down holding her head. He said that after marriage education is of no use, but method and etiquette are useful. Booty also had an answer to everything. I also told the milkmaid that yes, he also lacks manners. After listening to me, mother also became silent. Whereas Uncle's 3rd daughter was younger than me. In fact, she was many years younger than Mishu. That's why I couldn't even think about it after rejection by some other girls in the family. The search for relationships outside the family began. I had never seen any good girls from outside the family. Therefore, mother faced a lot of difficulty in choosing a girl. But I made this difficulty of Matharizi also. I knew the kind of I wanted mum. I want a girl like Olfat Bobby. When expressed my desire to my mother, she started looking at me with thoughtful eyes. Olfat Bobby was the wife of Wakuspai, who had come into our family after getting married only 2 years ago, but very soon hammered everyone his hostage, shemming gold into our family as if she had been a part of this family for centuries. Besides being beautiful, she was also extremely well-mannered and agile. Everyone was praised for his intelligence and wisdom. By taking the name of Olfat Bobby, I had made it very easy for mother to take a decision. When it started looking for a relationship, his eyes soon fell on a girl, and the girl was none other than Olfat Bobby Sounger's sister. Oma had taken care of him. I too had seen him once or twice during Wakusbai's wedding. Olfat was as beautiful as her sister-in-law, and it was obvious that since she was her sister, she would be her exact copy in terms of manners and intelligence as well. Uma had also taken Sungun from Olfat Bobby. She was looking for a match for her sister, but nothing had been finalized yet. After consulting with father and other elders of the family, mother started talking about the relationship with Olfat Bobby's sister. Apart from being a proud young man of the family, I was also handsome and employed, and above all, I had the love of Bobby Ufat. Hence the relationship was soon approved. Instead of wasting her time in useless rituals, Oma simply fixed the wedding date. The girl's family was a little hesitant because they needed time to prepare, but mother said in front of everyone that brother Urson is in a hurry. I was left stunned looking at my mother. And anyway, you should avoid these useless rituals. We don't. I want even a straw in the name of dowry. When Amamajid passed away, the girl's family also had to agree. Mishi was not sure that Tharif could cross so quickly. Sosh also breathed a sigh of relief and got engrossed in the wedding preparations. Mishu was also happy that now she was going to be free from the troubles of my actions. Bill, finally the day of my becoming a groomer of Denied, wearing the turban, reached my would-be wife's house to pick her up. My wife's name was Faria, but everyone used to call her Pinky lovingly. On the wedding night, when I lifted her veil, I kept looking at her. That Balashba was very beautiful. Exquisite makeup and jewelry enhanced her beauty. She was many times more beautiful than Olfat Bobby. I had never seen such a beautiful girl before today. I couldn't believe my good luck that Thespius of the Moon had come and settled in my courtyard. I was flying in the air after getting her. If he wanted, I would have placed my palms in front of his feet and would not have let him step on the ground. Some days of the marriage were spent in shyness and nervousness. A series of feasts continued throughout the family. Hence I did not even realize how time passed. In this time, we both had become quite friendly with each other. When Pinky expressed her first wish to me, I was left feeling sad. She wanted to visit northern areas on her honeymoon, whereas I did not have any free time due to office work. Work was at its peak those days and I barely got a week's leave for the wedding. So he promised to take her on a trip after some time. After listening to me, I's expression changed, but anyway, she agreed. When practical life began, all 14 sections of my life became illuminated. I soon realized that Pinky was a little lazy at her work, or perhaps she did not even have any interest in working. I was late for office on the very first day. After marriage, she probably forgot to iron my clothes, although I had warned him before sleeping at night. I called her 2-3 times, but she did not move an inch. She was in such a deep sleep that I was worried seeing her sleeping fit. She might have fainted. I shook him by the shoulder and barely opened his sleepy eyes. What happened? She suddenly got frightened and sat up. It is time for me to go to the office. To take off my clothes. I told her softly and quickly went into the bathroom. When I came back, she was lying on the bed happily enjoying the dream rabbit. He looked around the room to see if my clothes were there, but the clothes were nowhere to be found. Pinky, I shook his shoulder again. Where are my clothes? It is present in the cupboard in front. Take it out from there. Cha spoke in a soft voice, and I immediately moved towards the cupboard. I had just opened both the doors of the cupboard, and all the clothes stuffed inside it fell at my feet. I was surprised to see the condition of the cupboard. Apart from clothes, so much stuff was stuffed in it that their clothes got pushed back somewhere, while the woman's hanging clothes were also laying down in the cupboard along with the hangers. Surprised, I took a look at the clothes bundled at my feet and then at Pinky sleeping on the bed. But I did not have much time. My eyes fell on my wedding suit, which was hanging from my waist, which I had taken off that day and hung on the cupboard door myself. I quickly took out the same suit, wore it, and left the room. As soon as I descended the stairs, my eyes fell on Mishu, who was standing near the stairs waiting for me. Well, brother, today I am going wearing a wedding suit. She spoke with surprise, and I was left speechless. Yes, today is the first day after marriage. So friends have arranged a party. I avoided him and moved towards the door, when I heard his voice from behind. At least have breakfast, brother. Is there arrangement for breakfast in the office also? I ignored what he heard and went out. With the passage of time, I and everyone else in the house realized that Pinky was different from her sister Ulf. He did not know any household work. In fact, she did not even have any interest in doing household work. I had explained to her many times that she just has to take care of my clothes and things because I don't like mess at all. But she was ready to understand. She wouldn't even fix the bedsheet. Whenever I felt uncomfortable with the crumpled bedsheet, I would get up and straighten it myself, while she wonders, what difference does it make? If we sit on the bed, the bedsheet will get wrinkled again. I was astounded by his thinking. She always used to talk about fashion, clothes, style, designing, makeup, and films and dramas. My wife, Pinky, said that if you earn so well, then you should hire a servant. It will be easier for me as well, along with you. Whereas I would be surprised to hear him say that. What was he so worried about right now? His life was very easy. Whereas I was the one facing the difficulties. She had never done any household work, even before marriage, because she had no interest in household chores. Somehow I used to dress myself and wear my clothes, whereas the creases near the collar could not be removed by me, despite trying hard. Amma would watch my wife's antics like a demon, while Mishy's suppressed laughter could not remain hidden from me. But when was I ever in a position to look into her eyes? Listen, one day when I was leaving for office, I heard Pinky's soft and slow voice behind me. I was amazed, Arthur, this transformation happened today. How did Pinky wake up so early? While putting on my tie, it turned around and looked at him. She was sitting on the bed, while her scattered hair wassailing on her shoulders. Will you bring chips, Nimco, and chocolate for me when you come? It's been a long time since I ate it. Cha spoke in a pleading tone and with utmost longing, so I was surprised to hear about his hobbies. I nodded my head at this and walked out of the room. Everyone present at the breakfast table was engrossed in breakfast. After all, how long would mother tolerate my wife's behavior? His complaints had started piling up. Tell your wife to help me in the kitchen. I get tired of working alone. I am not in such good health anymore. When mother complained, I started looking at her silently. I was not even in a position to tell him to take Misha to work with him because of Misha's exams. I have kept her away from the kitchen myself. Perhaps she understood what was in my heart from my eyes. After listening to him, I left my breakfast incomplete and went out of the house scratching my ears. While coming from office, I brought Pinky's things as per her request. Today I decided to talk to Pinky openly. When I entered the room, she was sitting on the sofa with her legs stretched out, engrossed in watching TV. In response to my greeting, she stood up and moved towards me impatiently. I smiled, seeing his impatience, but she snatched the packet of her things from my hand and sat on the sofa again. May come. A very funny scene is about to come. He gestured at him to sit on the sofa next to him, keeping his eyes fixed on the TV. I also sat in the sofa with him, waiting for his drama to end. He opened the packet of chips, chipper chips in her hand, and started eating them, and he also extended the packet towards me. Not like this. Take it out in a plate and eat it. Will fall down like this. When I explained to her about my delicious food, she rubbed her fingers in my trousers and said, let's eat it in the packet itself. Similarly, one plate will get dirty and then it will have to be washed. I was close to fainting after hearing him to say that, but I shook my head and regained my senses. My dear Pinky, as soon as his drama was over, I addressed him very lovingly and in a pleading tone. The drama over. Now go to the kitchen and help Mom with preparing dinner. She started looking at me with her eyes wide open in surprise at my request. I don't know how to work, she said innocently. That mother will teach you herself. You just go and ask him if he has any work to do. He will tell you, but you have just arrived. Now we should spend some time together instead of me going to Theba. I have been waiting for you for a long time. She put her arm around me and rested her head on my shoulder. I was completely smitten by this gesture of hers, but this was not the time to be emotional. Somehow or the other, I forcefully sent him to the kitchen and breathed a sigh of relief. By the way, I was somewhat getting the feeling that Pinky was not as innocent as she pretended to be. I was sitting comfortably with my legs crossed, watching my favorite match on the TV when she came back. Again, that mother is saying that you should only do your husband's work. That is enough. She said this while sitting on the sofa, and he immediately gave her the new orders. Okay, wait. It stopped him from sitting on the sofa. Go and make tea and for me. She was stunned to hear my new requests, and all four of them went back towards the kitchen. I happily beckoned me attracted towards the TV again. But within a short while the whole house echoed with the sound of screams in panic. He ran barefoot towards the Bawachi restaurant. I was stunned seeing the scene inside. The fire was blazing in the stoves, whereas the gas pipeline behind the stoves had also caught fire, due to which the fire was rising wildly up. Amy, their cook, was stuck to the other wall of the dining room, while Pinky was sitting on the slab on her knees with the blue of her dupatta over her head. She was busy praying for something, shaking both her hands and saying something loudly. I quickly turned off the main gas valve outside the kitchen. The fire was extinguished within a few seconds. Seeing the fire extinguished, Oma regained her senses and Pinka opened her eyes and got down from the slab and stood up. How did this all happen and what were you praying for? I asked him in surprise. That Tai had increased the flame of the stove very high so that the ghee gets heated quickly. That is why the fire reached the pipeline, and due to gas leakage, the fire flared up, and I was praying that the fire gets extinguished quickly. See how my prayers were answered in minutes. He snapped his fingers at me and I held my head. I no longer had any doubts about Pinky's innocence. She was really very innocent, but her innocence suited her beautifully. Mishu got a proposal from a good family, They liked Mishu, so we went to their house to see the boy. Their boy was educated, capable and intelligent. You confirmed Mishi's proposal. Both me and father got engrossed in preparations for the wedding because all the outside work was my responsibility. So, I was busy doing things outside of my father's advice, while Pinky and Amma were trying to manage the household chores. Mishi's wedding day draws closer. While my heart was sinking, my heart becomes sad just thinking about his departure. Her eyes too would get wet at the slightest thing. Father's health had also been deteriorating for some days. Despite his mother's insistence, he did not go to the doctor and kept considering his ill health as a minor problem. But one day, while descending the stairs, Abu suddenly had a heart attack and fell face down on the stairs. He rolled and fell on the ground. Thankfully, I was at home at that time. Hearing the screams of Ami and Pinky, I ran away. My heart broke. When I saw Abu lying on the ground in such a condition, I quickly took Father Andron towards the hospital. Abu was immediately admitted and treatment was started. The doctor said that Abu had fallen due to a heart attack. We were all very worried because of Father's illness. The wedding preparations had almost stopped. Mom would stay with Dad in the hospital during the day while I would stay there at night. Both Mishu and Pinky were taking care of the house. I used Togo as a snack for my father. It took a week for Father's health to improve. After a week he was discharged from the hospital, but he still needed complete rest. That ABB, you said that Mishu's marriage would take place on his scheduled date only. So start preparing. I again got busy with feuding preparations. I wanted to target everything as per Mishi's choice. Bath said, "Brother, you can take whatever you want. I respect your choice." Pinky had become a little serious after sensing the condition of the house. While I was about Father's illness, I was also happy to see the change in Pinky's mood. The time for Mishu's departure has arrived. My heart was broken when I saw my father walking with the help of a stick. He also got seriously injured after falling from the stairs, due to which he still had a cast in his leg. Abu was instructing everyone to reach the hall quickly. I didn't know what preparations Pinky was busy with. Haven't left the room yet. I was just running up the stairs towards her room to call her when she opened the door and came out. I stood still at my place after seeing him. She looked like an angel descended from the sky, wearing a golden sharara spreading the pallu of the dupatta. She looked like the heroine of some drama. My heart was stirred by the innocence on his face. "Come on, it's getting late." Seeing me standing like that, she put her arm around me and pulled me down the stairs. We were all very sad after Mishi's departure, sitting in Father's room. We were all remembering Mishi. It doesn't matter if one of our daughters is gone, our other daughter is still with us. When Father pointed towards Pinky, his eyes filled with tears. I stood in amazement looking at the tears glistening in her bright eyes. She was also a little emotional because of Mishu's departure and the way Pinky supported me during your illness and Mishu's marriage. After that, it really made up for the lack of a daughter. I was shocked to hear what Uma said. "I don't know how to work, I just try." Cha spoke innocently and I smiled. Pinky was an innocent and sincere girl. She was completely engrossed in helping her mother with the household chores. After Mishu's departure, she became Uma's support and courage. I was also confident that I had tolerated him patiently and never said anything bad about him. Along with Pinky, I too had changed to a great extent. Now I used to wear extra folds of clothes and also wash mine and Mishi's clothes and spread them out. I used to clean the room while standing. Pinky would smile seeing me busy with work. At first, when I saw her low, I felt like grabbing her by the hand and throwing her out of the house. But then I remember that she is my wife. There is no housemaid. When responsibilities on a person's head, he learns many things. The way I learned it after having kids, I had completely changed. While I developed the habit of taking care of kids, Pinky's sense of responsibility and strays further. When Mishi came, she would be surprised to see me even changing the children's diapers. Yes. Where is it written that all the work is meant for women to do? Men can also get some work done with great ease. When I would argue with Mishu, she would laugh, point towards me and tell her husband Namdir to learn a lesson from me. Husband and wife are the two wheels of the cart. Only by taking care of each other's weaknesses the vehicle can move smoothly on its way.